some fun on FanDuel, and I ended up building that 25 leg parlay, and it just happened to be that the final odds were 69 plus 696, which is on a $10 bet. It's 69.69, and I didn't do that on purpose. The goal was actually to just kind of build 25 legs, and I was picking such like low odds that it only came out to that much.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's so ironic. So that's why I put the $10 on it.
Nice.
But it only missed by 2 legs. Like that's the part I couldn't believe, that it only missed by 2 legs. I checked it like the next morning because it was like late night basketball games and it was like a weeknight. So I checked the next morning, and it didn't hit. And I was like, it only missed by 2 legs, and it like 2 rebounds from one player, 1 rebound for the other. And I was like, that's actually crazy.
It's crazy. 23 out of 25 legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I could get that close. Welcome back to the Say It With Your Chest podcast. We are back for, I believe this is episode 6, 7. This is episode 6. We're getting up there. We're doing really well. Wow. I'm your host, John. Unfortunately, the other Pookie Bear, Hank, could not be here today. He will be here next week as part of a 4-man guest appearance podcast. Okay, and everyone needs to stay tuned for that. That's going to be a banger. But for now, we have another special guest. I need everyone in the studio to put their hands together for special guest Tyler. This is my older cousin Tyler, and he is here to... Actually, I'm going to let you take it. I'm going to let you... Tell the people what you got in store for us, okay?
All right. Hi, guys. Hi, say it with your chest. My name is Tyler. Yes, I am John's older cousin. I'm very happy to be here on the podcast today. I'm here to tell a story, a sports-related story, about a butterfly effect. John, do you know what a butterfly effect is?
Not off the top of my head, but if I were to give you a definition, I would not be able to tell you.
And I'm going to tell the viewers what the definition of the butterfly effect is. The butterfly effect, a phenomenon where one event has a much larger effect on everything else. I want to tell you today a story that I actually felt like I discovered.
Okay.
By listening to multiple sports stories and actually kind of realizing on my own that events lined up. People's lives and different stories and timelines lined up where you could trace things back to one college football team that changed the course of college football and the NFL for the past 20 years.
Wow. So that's still happening today?
Yeah.
The one college team from 20 years ago.
This one college team has still affecting the college football and the NFL today.
That's insane.
Yeah.
2 decades like that. Well, I'm excited. I know that we've been talking about this story for a while. I wanted you to keep me in the dark. I didn't want to hear anything about it. I want him to save it for this. I want you to hear it exactly how I'm hearing it. We're all going to react to it together. And yeah, we're gonna save that though for a little bit later in the pod.
Sure.
And we're gonna bounce into a few topics right now. I'm gonna tee up a few things for you, and then we'll get to this phenomenal story that I cannot wait for. All right.
Let me just tell you, I'm very excited to be here.
Yeah, are you?
Very excited to be here on this.
I'm really happy that you're here, brother.
Thank you.
This is great.
I'm ready for all your questions. I have answers.
Yeah.
Everything's ready to go.
This has been in the works for a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I'm excited.
Hit
So
me
let's
with
get
some.
into a few things here. So, week 17 of the NFL, which is this week.
Exciting week.
We got 2 weeks left before the NFL playoffs. But before we get to the NFL playoffs, we have to get through this playoffs first. The fantasy playoffs.
Fantasy playoffs.
And we are in the fantasy championship right now.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's favorite week. It's what you play the game for. It's what you come into July and August and you draft a team. This is what you play for all season long. All regular season, you get to the playoffs just to get to this one spot. Whether you're out there playing for money, whether you're out there playing for a trophy, whether you're out there playing for a ring, a belt, just pride in general.
And the glory of being the winner.
The glory of being the winner.
And I just want to give you a little caveat for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Week 17 of the NFL season should be everybody's fantasy playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? If
Yep.
you're still one of those people that goes into Week 18, you're doing it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You got to talk to your team, your league, your commissioner. You got to tell them you're doing it wrong. It's got to be Week 17. It's 1 week championship. That's it, Week 17. While everybody's playing, everybody not healthy, but they're not benching people to keep them healthy for the playoffs. It's got to be Week 17. So most people, most logical people, they're in their championship week this week.
Mm-hmm.
And it's exciting.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. If you're playing if you're playing in week 18, I don't even know what to say to you.
Me
You
personally,
freak.
I am actually in one. I was in 3 leagues this year. I'm in 1 fantasy championship.
Oh, I thought you were going to say in week 18.
No, not week 18. No.
I was about to walk off the set.
One of the leagues that I'm
Lying
in
to the
out of the
people.
3, I am in one of the championships. Starting tonight, I have Breece Hall playing tonight. I'm very excited for his performance. I hope that he starts my week off with a strong performance tonight.
Yes. So tonight with the Jets at Browns, some key players. Obviously, you just mentioned Breece Hall, who had a very big performance last week.
Huge.
Helped out everybody in the semifinals if you had him. Had a 40-something point performance. Had 12 catches, 200 total yards through the ground and through the air. 2 touchdowns. Insane.
He definitely was a key factor in my win last week to get me to the championship.
Another key player, Amari Cooper. 50-burger last week.
Unbelievable.
Set the single-season franchise record for the Browns in receiving yards, breaking Josh Gordon's previous record that he set a decade ago when he led the league in receiving yards as a Brown, when the Browns sucked.
These Browns, man.
And now the Browns have 10 wins, and they are led by yours truly, Joe Flacco, the 38-year-old, coming off the couch. He's won what? He's won 4 straight? They've won 4 straight games
I
now?
think so, yeah. Joe
Joe Flacco's a bad man.
Super Bowl champion Joe Flacco
Super Bowl MVP Joe Flacco.
is still slinging that ball because
Mm-hmm.
those Browns, they have no run game.
Yeah.
They have no run game. And that's why they got Joe Flacco. They said, hey, see that guy Amari Cooper over there?
Throw that guy.
See that guy David Njoku over there?
They might be good players.
Just throw them the ball.
Mhm.
Just
you'll be all right.
throw it.
And
And
you'll be
let's
good.
see if we can win some games. Because Joe Flacco, he's got nothing to lose. He was already called off the couch. Okay, he's 38 years old. The guy could retire whenever he wants. But maybe, just maybe, he's playing well enough where they're going to bring him back next season and compete for the job
With Watson?
with the overrated Deshaun Watson.
Not with that contract. Not with that contract. No
All
way.
I'm saying is there's a possibility.
Well, yeah, what's going on?
Daniel Jones.
That is someone I like to bring up a lot because of the fellow Giants co-host that I have. He's a Giants fan. And Daniel Jones, we had this conversation. We actually had this conversation a couple days ago with the guys, with Tommy Cutlets doing pretty well, winning a couple games. And then, we have a special appearance by the dog. Get out of here, little rascal. It's fine. We'll just continue.
Here's the thing.
Anyway, Tommy Cutlett's been winning a couple games. Got hurt last week. They lost against the Saints, and then they lost on Christmas to the Eagles. But Daniel Jones, I know that they're saying he might be ready for the start of the season next week because he got next year because he got hurt pretty early in the year, so he's had a lot of time to recover off the ACL injury. But another contract that I think was not a very smart move at all, because now that the Giants also have been winning games, they're not going to be too much in for a top quarterback this year. They're out of the Caleb Williams race because they got too many wins now for that. I think they're out on Marvin Harrison as well. They're not getting him. I think that they cannot take another shot at another lineman like they have in the past. I think they've taken too many chances on linemen's. Because Evan Neal has not been what they hoped for.
Yeah, the Giants, they're in a bad spot.
Yeah.
Let's just put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have the players that they need to be successful, and they have gone about, like, the front office has gone about it the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Jones is not the answer.
No.
Tommy Cutlet, he's not the answer. Saquon Barkley is getting old.
He is.
Every year that goes by, he gets a little bit older.
Mm-hmm. And the injuries. He's been injury prone his whole career.
Signing Darren Waller didn't help much.
No. I mean, he got hurt, and he wasn't even involved in the offense for the first half of the year.
Their defense isn't playing well. The Giants are just a mess, and it would probably be smart for them to go into some kind of soft rebuild.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think that they do with? I mean, you have to keep. Do you just cut Daniel Jones and take the cap hit?
That's what a lot of other teams are doing.
And draft Jaden Daniels, LSU. Do you draft Drake May?
I don't know if drafting a new quarterback's the answer. I mean, you could still rebuild while you're wasting away his contract. It's not what everybody wants to see, but if you're gonna put the players around him, offensive line, receivers, a defense, see how it goes. If that doesn't work, then you bring in somebody. Look at the Jets, right? This season's a wash because of Aaron Rodgers' injury.
Yes.
But that's what they did. They got all these pieces together, and then all they had to do is sign a veteran quarterback with some juice left in him.
And it looked promising.
It did.
In the offseason.
And I think that if the Giants could do something along those lines, I think that might be the answer for them. Because I don't think it's Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Or Tommy Cutlets, for that matter.
Yeah, no, it was almost looking like a situation with the Cardinals because Kyler Murray with the same thing with the ACL injury. They had Browns trade away Josh Dobbs to the Cardinals. And then now Dobbs was playing very well on the Cardinals, even though they were losing and they were tanking and they're going to get a very high draft pick this year, waiting for Kyler, their star quarterback that they have on contract, a big contract, to come back. And Josh Dobbs played enough to get traded to the Vikings and get another fresh start there. And they were doing very well, and the Vikings are currently in the playoffs right now. But he has fallen apart completely. Nick Mullins has taken that job over, unfortunately, with Kirk Cousins going down. What?
Nick Mullins is not playing this week. Jaden Hall is playing.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Said it this morning.
Breaking news.
I didn't hear that.
I didn't hear that either.
I heard it was Mullins.
Look at that, I swear.
Yeah?
You're telling me something I don't know.
All right, well, anyway. Tommy Cutlets had his little start to fame, winning 3 straight, and now has lost
Good
2
for
straight.
him.
And
You
got
gotta
hurt.
collect that bag.
Hey, dude, he's with Rayos now. He's been he's on the sauce.
That is an impressive
He's
run.
on the sauce.
He you can't compare it to an Insanity run, but he had something where it's a Tommy Cutler run where you're the starting quarterback for the Giants. It's not going to last, so you have to get your bag when you can. Chase that bag. I get it.
Jaron Hall is playing.
Really?
Yeah. Jaron Hall will start against the Packers on Sunday Night Football.
Well, this changes everything.
What? I feel like Nick Mullins.
So wait, that would be the Vikings' 4th quarterback this year?
He played already, technically.
So, yeah.
Well, fourth starting quarterback. He
4
hasn't
starting
started.
quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's their 4th starting
Wow.
quarterback this year.
That's
Well,
incredible.
listen, that's what happens when your starter goes down and it all just becomes a mess after
Poor
that.
Kirk Cousins, man.
Dude, the Vikings, the Cardinals, and the Giants have just been a mess at quarterback this year, playing multiple starters. Because the Giants have had Daniel Jones in there, Tommy Cutlets, Tyrod Taylor. Was there a 4th? Or is that,
For the Giants,
was that
no.
it? Just the 3 guys?
I mean, the Jets are in the same thing.
This is
They've run out there with the Jets have run out there with Aaron Rodgers, Zach Wilson, Trevor Siemian, and Tim Boyle.
And Tim Boyle. Yes. And none of those guys
This
are the answer.
season is really
But even with Aaron Rodgers coming back next year, age 40.
I'm not worried.
You're not worried at all?
No.
Okay. So, he comes back next year. Where do you see them finishing? You see him as a playoff team?
I would have to do my annual ayahuasca retreat to then give you the proper answer to that question.
Okay. So,
but Jets are in a tough division.
yes.
I mean, you see what's going on with the Bills and the Dolphins this season.
Yep.
Very competitive.
And it's going to come down to the last week, it looks like, for the division title.
Yeah.
Because if Miami can somehow beat Baltimore this week, they will both be tied for the 1 seed. Miami will hold that tiebreaker over the Ravens. Buffalo comes to Miami in Week 18. Buffalo beat Miami earlier in the year.
Crushed them.
But if Buffalo, I think, will smoke New England this week and get to 10 wins.
I would hope so.
Get to 10 wins. And then they have to play the Dolphins Week 18. And that would come down for the division title. And the 1 seed.
Schedule.
And the 1 seed,
that
really.
That was one schedule that they made that was really, that worked out.
Yeah, it's all coming down to the end. This is crazy. Because the Ravens, if the Ravens beat the Dolphins, they pretty much lock up the 1 seed.
Mm-hmm.
And the AFC North at that point. Even if the Browns went out at that point. Miami would then be, a game back. And then when they play in Week 18, it's going to come down for that, for the title.
How are the Ravens so impressive?
Their defense... Okay, so I feel like in today's day and age in football, everybody wants to see explosive offenses. They want to see points put up, right? But the Ravens' defense, for some reason, has actually been enjoyable to watch this year. They've actually been a pretty fun defense to watch. They've been scoring on the defensive side. It's fun to watch Roquan Smith and Patrick Queen go to work at the linebacker position. Kyle Hamilton has been balling like a first-team All-Pro safety, and I think that he needs to be getting his flowers. He had a pick against the Niners this weekend, right? Comes back from injury. The defense is championship quality when they're fully healthy, as we just saw them beat down on the Niners in the Bay. Now, the offense, on the other hand, that was a big question mark coming into the season.
Yep.
Lamar signs that big contract. They draft Zay Flowers. They sign OBJ, right? You got Mark Andrews, top tight end in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Rashad Bateman's coming back. Nelson Aguilar. Got a lot of weapons, right?
Yeah, but
J.K.
we didn't
Dobbins
know the quality of the weapons.
Yeah. We're like, okay, these are some names. These are some names, right? Zay Flowers, arguably the best receiver in the draft. You could definitely make that argument. I know Puka is having a great season, but he might be a little bit of the product of the Sean McVay system. Just like how Cooper Kupp was a little bit a couple years ago. But, yeah, so if we take away that, I think Zay Flowers might be the best receiver in the draft. You could argue. OBJ, he's pushing up in age a little bit, but he's been solid pretty much all season when he's on the field for Lamar. And now to segue right into that, with Lamar beating the Niners, he is the favorite to win MVP this year. It'd be his second MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe he is deserving of the MVP this year?
I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
I've thought about this, and the reason is because what we just said, they came in with a bunch of weapons. We were unsure about how the weapons were to play out. J.K. Dobbins goes out with the Achilles, right? And then we think, are they still going to be good? Are they going to be good?
Yeah.
Then you lose Mark Andrews. Arguably, this season, well, he's top 5, definitely.
Yeah.
But arguably, he could have been up there for number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Kelsey really hasn't had that number 1 season this year. Hawkinson's Laporta have been playing really well.
Yeah.
So Andrews might have been he might have been tight end 1 on the season. So you lose Dobbins, you lose Andrews. You sit back and think, are the Ravens going to be able to do it?
Mm-hmm.
And they are.
Yeah.
I think that win last week, beating the 49ers, the juggernaut that the 49ers
It's
are,
a statement win.
I think that solidified it for me.
Yeah.
What Lamar is able to do with the weapons he has is incredible. I think it's incredible. I think it makes him the MVP for me. Because you compare it to who else they can name MVP. MVP has become a quarterback award.
Yes.
If you're not doing something that blows the quarterbacks out of the water, then you can't win it if you're not a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Should Christian McCaffrey be in the conversation
Absolutely.
for MVP? I think he should.
Absolutely.
Tyreek Hill, should he be? I agree. But because we already know that most of the time, if not all the time, the quarterback wins the MVP, it's Lamar Jackson. Because he is clearly the best quarterback playing this year. But if we can actually sit back and say, like, from a unbiased standpoint, I think Christian McCaffrey should really be highly considered.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I 100% agree with that. I think listen, because McCaffrey, even in the loss, still had a touchdown, still had over 150 yards, all-purpose yards, again, just continuing his dominating run. He is, I believe he's currently sitting at 2,200 all-purpose yards, rushing, receiving. He's got 20-something touchdowns on the season. They're being compared to the Adrian Peterson and the LT MVP years.
Mm-hmm.
And
as he should.
He plays Washington this week, McCaffrey. He might go for 203.
If you have Christian McCaffrey and you're in a fantasy championship, congratulations on your win. I'm going to tell you right now. Already.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I'm one of those people.
He is going to beat the Washington Commanders so badly they might consider changing their name again.
Yeah. To the Washington McCaffreys.
The Washington McCaffreys. That might be on the table. The loss will be so bad that it will go down in the record books that Christian McCaffrey did this to the Commanders that they will have to sit back in the offseason and say, we cannot be associated with the Commanders because that record now says that he did this to the Commanders, but that's not us anymore.
I would not be surprised if Jeff Bezos and Magic Johnson come out and just start filing out lawsuits and all these assault allegations against Christian McCaffrey for the beatdown that he's going to give them this weekend. It's going to be bad. What's going on back there?
So, you say that, but technically, who's starting QB for both teams? Is Brock starting for the Niners?
Yeah.
And who's starting for Washington?
Who cares?
Jacoby Brissett.
I think that the Niners are going to be in such a buggle from last week that I don't think they win this game.
That has to be the hottest take
I've
ever heard in my life.
That is the hottest take. That is ridiculous. You think Kyle Shanahan...
You're thinking that, okay, Sauce Gardner, best cornerback in the league. Jets have a really good defense. Look at that run that they just had within one quarter of the game, and now they're going to have that mindset to where like they can actually do this, and they are going to come out to a broken Niners.
Absolutely not.
No way.
The 49ers lost last week to the Ravens, and that put their number 1 seed in jeopardy. And they're going to come out and try to kill everyone on that field.
I would not be surprised if they come out and score 4 touchdowns in the first half. Wouldn't even surprise me at all.
Like the Miami Dolphins set a record this season, putting up 70 points on the Broncos. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to have a hot take for you.
Okay. Right here we go.
Miami scored 70 points on the Broncos earlier this season.
Yep.
I'm going to tell you right now. If the Jets could score 30 points on the Commanders last week, the 49ers will score over 50 points against the Commanders this week.
And then once they get there, if they get there like with time left, they will look at the clock, they will look at the score, and they will try to go after that 70-point record.
Yeah.
They will try. They will keep pushing the ball.
Keep the starters on the field.
And they will try to get that record.
Yeah.
Because they are pissed that they lost to the Ravens.
Yeah, absolutely. 80 points.
You could lock this in right now. Take the over. Take touchdowns on all the 49ers team. Everybody on 49ers scoring a touchdown.
Everyone on the offense is scoring.
Every single player.
Even the defense, too.
They're going to fumble Ruski, the lineman, into scoring a touchdown. Okay? The 49ers are going to set records.
Yeah, okay. We back. And we're back with some breaking news. So, back to the Browns and Jets game.
Tonight.
Browns receiver Amari Cooper is not playing tonight. That's a kick in the nuts, man.
And I know that this episode is not going to drop anytime soon, but I already took the Jets to cover prior to this news coming out, and now I feel even better about it.
Yeah. Let's see if that line is moved. Let's see how much that line is moved.
It was Cleveland -7.5,
and I personally felt confident enough in the Jets' defense to hold Joe Flacco and that passing offense to a limited amount of points.
and now Cooper's not even playing. So who is he throwing to?
David
Njoku and
Elijah Moore.
Elijah Moore? No. Jets
Former
might even win
Jet.
this game now.
It's -7.
Now it just moved
Half a point.
half a point?
Yeah.
I don't believe that.
That is all it's moved.
I don't
That
believe
is a live. Yeah, that's a live movement.
No. I still think
And the over went down a point.
You know,
The over-under.
bet,
33.5.
I bet on a Jets defensive touchdown too.
Okay.
Just
I can see that
because
happening.
That might happen. I
Yeah.
mean, we might.
That could always happen.
we get a good special teams. Jets have good special teams.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Jets fan, by the way. I know we didn't establish that, so I say we. I'm on the team. Okay.
You should say we.
It is we.
We're on the
We Jets.
Hank addressed that the other day where he was like, I'm going to stop saying we because I don't wear a headset on the sideline. But it's like, dude, you're a fan.
I wear a headset on the sideline.
If you're a real fan, you got to say we. You're a part of the team.
I wear a headset while I watch a Jets game because it is we.
Yeah.
And you could look at me like I'm crazy. Fine.
I'm on the team.
Robert Saleh is in his ear.
I actually tell Robert Saleh some of the play calls. Maybe that's why they're not playing well this year. That might be it.
He's not listening to you?
No, he is listening to me.
So you're the problem.
I'm the problem.
We figured it out, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I am on the team,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a we.
Okay.
And we could potentially win this game tonight. I'm not kidding. We have a good special teams. If we send the ball down, punt the ball away because our offense is not good. Punt the ball down to the 1 yard line.
Mm-hmm.
Send them dogs out there. After 38-year-old Joe Flacco.
Stop it.
How many safeties? What's the record
For
for
safeties?
safeties in a game?
Let's see.
That's what I want to know because if it's a reasonable number, I might actually put it out there that we could get. Maybe we get one. Maybe we get two tonight. The Jets get two safeties tonight against Joe Flacco because they don't have a run game.
3 safeties.
That's the record.
That's
and
the
when,
record.
Do you know when that record was set? How long ago that was?
It was the Rams versus Giants on September 30th, 1984.
Okay, 1984. It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
I'm thinking.
It's been a long time.
Another bold take. I already had a bold take tonight, but I'm going to take another bold take.
Okay.
And again, because this episode is going to drop after the
game.
Jets-Browns game,
Yes.
you're going to be able to tell me if I was right or wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You're already going to know. The Jets have a safety tonight. They might have more than one. And if the record's 3, that would be real fun to watch.
Do you think they get 4?
I think at some point, if an offense gives up 1,
Mm-hmm.
then maybe they try to not do it again.
Yeah.
If they give up 2, maybe they also try a little harder, not do it again.
Like, every safety that you give up as an offense, you don't want to keep giving up more.
I feel like it's already hard enough to get one safety with the way that they run the penalties, and sometimes if you're down at the one, you don't necessarily get in. And I feel like it's already tough enough to get one. You think they're going to get multiple?
Well, I mean, look at what we saw last week in the Ravens-49ers game.
Yeah.
I actually wasn't watching the game because, was that on Christmas? Or
It was on Christmas.
It was on Christmas,
Yes.
right, that game. So I was busy doing Christmas things, and I didn't see the play. So I had to look it up and see what exactly happened. Intentional grounding in the end zone results in a safety.
Yeah.
We're talking about Lamar Jackson. He's got like the best legs at quarterback.
And did you
in
see
the
what
NFL.
happened to his legs?
What happened?
The ref?
I didn't see this. What are you talking about?
What are
I
you
didn't see
talking
this. What are you
about?
talking about?
The ref is an industry plant.
Tripped him?
Tripped him. The
No.
ref fell down in the... Did you not watch the full play? The ref fell down in the end zone, and Lamar tripped over him. And they still called intentional grounding. What a bunch of assholes.
No, I didn't see that. I'm going to be fully honest. I didn't see that play. That's really funny. But if Lamar Jackson is tripping over refs and throwing these passes like that and getting called for safeties, then Joe Flacco is not getting away from the Jets defense if he's on the 1-2 yard line. Okay, I'm thinking we get safeties tonight. That's how the Jets win. Defensive touchdowns, safeties, good field position, Breece Hall.
You gotta watch this play.
I'm going to watch this play. You ready?
Lamar runs back. The ref tripped, and he tripped over the ref.
There's no way.
That's what I'm saying.
There's no way.
And he's looking like, are you kidding me? How insane is that?
So not only do we have
And immediately called
referees in the league, we have referees in the league that can make a good call, but we also have referees that are completely inathletic.
Yes.
Lamar Jackson is running for his life out there.
And we got this guy. What are you doing? Backpedaling.
That's insane. Wow.
That should just be a mulligan. The ref should have to leave the game.
I'm actually glad that I didn't see this so that you could show me live.
How insane is that? But here, I got something else for you.
Go ahead.
I actually read today, someone put out a little conspiracy theory
Oh,
regarding the Niners. Okay. So when the Niners played the Browns, right?
Mm-hmm.
Browns beat the Niners. The Niners finished with 17 points. Okay. The following week, Deshaun Watson is hurt, out for the season, right?
Oh, I know about it. Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead.
The following week, the Niners play the Vikings. The Niners put up 17 points. The next week, Kirk Cousins gets hurt, out for the season, right? The third game, Niners lose to Cincinnati, put up 17 points.
Oh my gosh.
The following week, I shit you not, Joe Burrow gets hurt against the Ravens, out for the season.
Wow.
Right?
That's 3. That's already a lot.
The Ravens and the Niners played each other on Christmas night. The final score was 33-19. What happened that the Niners finished with 19 points?
A safety in the end zone.
A safety in the end zone caused by what?
Lamar Jackson tripping over the ref.
Tripping over a referee that should not have been there. People are saying that this ref has come from the future and was there to prevent Lamar Jackson from being injured so that he can continue his dominance throughout the rest of the season. We will know how true that is this week when he plays Miami.
He's going to win the Super Bowl.
God willing, he does not tear his ACL or anything harmful come to Lamar Jackson.
You know, it's interesting. Yeah, so, if he doesn't get hurt, then, it's good for him.
Mm-hmm.
But we will never know if this was some kind of weird 17-point 49ers curse.
Yep.
If he didn't get hurt.
We'll never know.
We'll never know, because if that safety didn't happen and they scored 17 points and then he does get hurt, then we know there was a curse.
And how insane is that?
But you're right. I already said it. 3 is already a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So for them to score 17 points, that's incredible.
3 straight games. I didn't even know. I totally forgot that they even 17 points in 3 straight games each, and then 3 straight teams starting quarterbacks out for the year.
Mm-hmm.
And then we almost had another one. They almost tried to take Lamar away from us. Those goddamn sons of bitches. Yeah. But, yeah, the Niners suck. Whatever, man. I know that we were just talking about the Lamar and McCaffrey MVP, and I want to just talk about Lamar for a second before we move on, because I think Lamar, even though I've been caping for McCaffrey, he's easily the best running back in the league. His stats are off the charts. You can argue he's the best player on the Niners. He's the reason why they're winning so many games, besides Brock doing his thing.
They have a good offense.
They have a great offense.
But what I will say real quick about McCaffrey is the fact that he's been doing this for years.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't a guy that was put into the Shanahan offense, and he's all of a sudden he's really good.
Yep. He was doing this in Charlotte.
He's been doing this in college, in Carolina.
Yep.
And now for the 49ers. So he is that guy.
He is him.
Who is just benefiting even more from the Shanahan offense. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, exactly. I think people are just starting to get a taste of him because he's in a big market team now. And he's doing very well. And now people are talking about him more. MVP conversation. But I would like you to just go check his Stanford stats and then go check out that 2019 season when he was with Carolina and we finished with 5 wins. Go put up. You'll see the numbers that he put up that year. Yeah. And then you'll see what we're talking about. But if you don't know who the man is.
You can't have an MVP that was on a 5-win team.
Absolutely not.
But
Offensive Player of the Year though.
A 5-win team, no. A 49ers team with how many wins they have right now? 10 or 11?
I think they have 11.
11 wins.
They're 11-4. Yeah.
And he's leading the team in touchdowns, leading the league in touchdowns. I think that's the case. You have a case there?
Yeah. Well, that 2019, not even Offensive Player of the Year?
Yeah.
Because the 3 candidates that year was, Lamar could have won both because his insane MVP season. But that was the same season that Michael Thomas set the receptions record.
Which,
the Saints made the playoffs.
I just want to sidetrack for just a second.
Yeah.
MVP and Offensive Player of the Year, it's a very strange separation, right? Because when was the last time a defensive player won MVP?
I think LT. I legitimately think it was LT.
A very long time ago. What's the logic behind the most valuable player being an offensive player and also not being the Offensive Player of the Year? Technically, shouldn't they win both?
They technically should, and they have won both in the past.
Yeah.
Which I think is dumb.
I think it's dumb both ways.
Yeah.
Because there's the logic of having 2 separate awards and giving them to the same person, stupid. But then having 2 separate awards and giving them to different people is also stupid because it would mean the same thing.
It technically does mean the same thing.
Technically it means...
Yeah, because you're never going to give the MVP to a defensive player.
No.
Even if they were to put up 40 sacks and just score 15 touchdowns, it wouldn't even matter.
Then
okay. All right.
have a case.
All right, I might have blew the stats way out of the water there, but yeah. I guess if they do that, sure, 40 sacks and 15 touchdowns, sure. But yeah, no, a defensive player
he just sacks and scoops and scores
just
every game,
every play.
If a player could do that, I'd make a case for MVP.
Yeah, I don't think. I don't care if your quarterback threw 50 touchdowns. That defensive player is getting it.
Yeah.
But it's a down year for quarterbacks. I don't know how you can make an argument for McCaffrey.
No, you 100% can. You know why? Because it's also a consistency thing. Because every week MVP odds change depending on that quarterback's performance. Mm-hmm. Right? We've talked about Hurts. We've talked about Purdy. We've talked about Lamar. Mahomes, maybe. I know he hasn't really had a good season, but you every week it's like a different quarterback that we're talking about MVP. But who has actually been the most consistent and in the conversation of like a really good player? Christian McCaffrey.
Christian McCaffrey every single game. You just know that he's going to score a touchdown every game. You know he's going to touch the ball at least 30 times. And that was an argument that people tried to use against Tyreek Hill because the man physically cannot touch the ball as much as McCaffrey can because he's a running back.
That's a good point.
You know he's going to touch the ball at least 20 times on the ground. And he's going to touch the ball 6 to 10 times through the air. So it's kind of hard to use that argument against a receiver. I think it's a little dumb. And I think Tyreek Hill's chances have lowered. He missed a game, and then he has not had the explosive games that he's had all season the last couple weeks against Tennessee and then against the Cowboys. I mean, he would have to literally go for 250 this week to really solidify that. But I think if Lamar doesn't win MVP, I think McCaffrey should win MVP, and I think Tyreek Hill should win Offensive Player of the Year.
I agree with that.
I think we should. I don't think a quarterback should really win the award this year.
This year, out of all the years, I agree with that 100%.
I don't think. Yeah, there really hasn't been a quarterback that's just been off the walls, insane. The stats are not there. There hasn't been a 50 touchdown, 5,000-yard passer this year.
No, not even close.
And even though Lamar is playing, he's playing well enough. He's not doing nearly what he did his 2019 MVP run at all. But with a rookie receiver, an old, washed-up OBJ, no Mark Andrews, no J.K. Dobbins, and they have 12 wins and the first seed. So, I mean, I guess,
One of the things about Christian McCaffrey was he was on that touchdown streak, right?
Yes.
He was scoring a touchdown every game to the point where there was the game that he didn't have a touchdown where they kept him in the game and kept giving him the ball to try to score to keep the streak alive.
Yeah.
He had a streak already going. It was an organic touchdown streak. Like, he is a running back. You give him the ball, he scores a touchdown.
Yeah.
It was an organic streak. They weren't trying to force it to the point where they wanted to keep the streak alive, so they tried to force it.
Yeah.
To have a consistency like that, where you score a touchdown every game, where you go into a game with you're almost done with a game without a touchdown, and your team's like, we got to keep the streak alive.
Yeah.
That to me is insane.
Well, that was for the all-time record. That was literally for the all-time record. Like, he would have been the 101 for that record.
Yeah.
He would have beat out Jerry Rice for, I believe it was 19 straight games at that point.
I think so.
Coming from last season into this season. I think that was the record.
To have an organic streak like that, where it's just happening naturally, to the point where it's like, we got to get this guy a touchdown to keep the streak alive.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. And it's really, like, cool, too, because they were up. They blew Jacksonville out of the water that game. It was like 34-3 that game. And people know that McCaffrey has had some injuries in the past, right? He was out for 2 years straight, pretty much, with ankle and knee problems.
Yeah.
And the fact that they kept him out there, all the starters are benched, but he's out there.
Trying to score
garbage time.
4 streak.
4 straight downs, he gets the ball. I just want to put that out there for all the CMC haters, that like to talk about his injuries, they like to bring it up in the past, and yet they're throwing him out there with a minute left in the game, and they're up by 30 because they want to get this man a touchdown.
What do you think he has to do this week?
Oh, man.
If you thought that he should be MVP, to actually say Christian McCaffrey should be MVP, what does he have to do this week? And honestly, he has the perfect matchup for it.
Yeah, he really does.
And that's why I said before they could set records for what they do this week against the Commanders. What does he have to do?
So this was the same argument we actually made with, I'm going to get to that. There was actually the same argument we made with Tyreek Hill when he played the Commanders. Where, like, he needs to go for at least 200 if he wants to get back in the MVP favorite, pretty much. And remember, he had, like, 5 catches for, like, 150 yards and 2 touchdowns in the first half. But then they benched him for the whole game. They benched him in the second half because he was too dominant. So right now, McCaffrey's got 1,400 on the ground, 14 touchdowns on the ground. He's got 63 catches. Oh, man. He's doing very well. What he would have to do. I'm going to need at least one. I want 175 really on the ground.
175 yards rushing.
And I want 3 total touchdowns.
3 total touchdowns.
And you think I'm crazy when I say those numbers?
No, I don't.
Or for the people
you said
out
him
there.
With a straight face,
but
I kept a straight
you
face.
don't understand how normal that actually is for him this year. And how doable that will be. I would not be surprised if he finishes with like 120 in the first half. Let alone 175.
Mm-hmm.
If he finished with over 200 yards, all-purpose yards, 3 total touchdowns, it would not even surprise me at all.
This week, 49ers versus Commanders will win people championships in fantasy and will secure Christian McCaffrey as an MVP favorite.
Mm-hmm. What? You can speak up. You want to do the picks now? That's fine. We can do the picks now.
I'm ready to pick my nose.
All right. We can do the picks now. All right. Like we've been doing for every guest. So we're going to do this, and then we're going to get into this phenomenal story that I've been waiting for all podcast.
Okay, yes. Excellent.
All right.
I love
But we are
pick.
going to do... We're going to pick some Week 17 games.
Let's do it.
For the both of us. Let's get it going here. There's a lot of good matchups this week.
There are. I'm excited.
So I actually want to just put this out there because I play your brother this week in our other league that we got going on.
I heard about this.
A lot of money playing for a ring. I lost last year, unfortunately, in the chip,
Boo.
and now I'm back again in the chip.
Mm-hmm.
And this time I'm facing Kyle.
Who do you think I'm rooting for?
Who do you think you're rooting for? Me?
I hope you both lose.
We both tie. That's it.
A tie for a loss.
Well, I will say that I have McCaffrey on my team.
Good for you.
Yeah. And Kyle actually commented on Christian McCaffrey's Instagram post today and told him to not score so many points against the Commanders.
Hey, maybe you should sit this game out.
Yeah, he was trying. Listen, valiant effort.
Yeah.
He tried. He did his best. But me and Kyle actually picked games a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
And so let's see. I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 2, 3, 4, 5. So I went 11-5 in my picks, which really is not that bad.
11-5.
11-5 is not that terrible, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3. Phew, boy.
Looks like the Jets Browns line moved a little bit more. I'm seeing it 6.5.
6.5.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's
It
getting there.
was at 7.5.
Okay.
We already established that.
Your brother went 7-9 in his picks.
Nah, he sucks.
Just want to put that out there.
I hope to do better than that.
7-9.
Now, yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
You good? All right, we're back again, and make sure to tune in to the Patreon, the Boogie Bomb Boys, where Tyler will be whipping it out.
Come check me out.
Go check them out. Perfect. Good segue right into the picks. All right, Jets at Browns, Thursday Night Football. Who you got?
It is 7:42 on Thursday, right before the game.
This is right before the game. Yes.
The line is still heavily favored in the Browns' direction.
Mm-hmm.
However, with the recent news of Amari Cooper not playing tonight, and just knowing how well the Jets' defense plays, the problem is the Browns' defense is good too.
The Browns defense is very good.
I hate to say it, but I'm gonna have to take the Browns to win. But I think it's gonna be so close.
Right. Is Dustin Hopkins playing? Is their kicker okay?
I don't think so.
Is he not? That's actually like a huge factor, though. Because if they can't kick field goals or move the ball without Amari Cooper,
It doesn't say on the injury.
it's just gonna be a really
It doesn't say
defensive
anything on the
battle.
injury report.
Oh boy.
I cannot confirm nor deny that the kicker is playing tonight.
Okay. So you got the Brownies.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I think that they're gonna show. I think they're gonna show what they've been all season. They're gonna show that dominating defense. I think Myles Garrett is going to show why he should be the defensive player of the year this year, who is currently tied for the favorite with Micah Parsons.
Okay.
And I think that they win this game because of their defense, and they're gonna show why they have a championship caliber defense, and they're gonna go right into the playoffs with it, and they're gonna clinch playoffs tonight with a win.
Okay.
I like the Browns.
I don't like the Browns over the Jets.
No, but I like the Browns
have to
tonight.
take the Browns over the Jets.
I'm surprised you're not taking your team.
No, I am surprised too, but you know we have to think logically here. We're not thinking with our hearts. We're thinking with our minds.
Well, I thought with my heart a couple weeks ago and took the Panthers when they won, so it actually worked out
Hey,
for
good
me.
for you.
All right, next game, we got a Saturday game, Lions at Cowboys. This is a big one. This is going to shape up the NFC playoffs very nicely. Because if the Lions win, they pretty much lock up the two over the Eagles, depending on what they do. And then if the Cowboys lose, they're pretty much out of the East, I would say at that point. Because the Eagles got to play the Cardinals this week.
They're both playing for a lot, and I actually took when I put in some picks, I took the Lions to cover.
You took the Lions to cover.
I took them plus 6.5 because I
Okay.
thought that line was a little crazy for
Yeah,
this game.
it's now plus 5.5.
I am not fully confident in them per se.
The Lions.
The Lions.
Okay. They've been hot recently. They've been getting
They
their
have
defense
been hot, and the Cowboys have been a little
after
cold.
their little slump.
Cowboys have been cold.
They have. Losing 2 straight. Highest over under the week at 52.
Yeah.
Would you take that over? There was a high over under last week with the Cowboys and Dolphins, and it did not hit.
Yeah, and I actually think we're discounting these defenses a little bit with that over under. I think they actually have two really good defenses.
Yes.
I'll take the Lions.
I'm right there with you.
Okay.
I know that the Cowboys are home. They have not lost a game at home this season.
But they're about to.
They've lost 2 straight now. I know people wanted to say they're going to get back on track, but I think that the Lions are going to just they're going to take this division title and they're going to keep going with it. I like the Lions on the road. I also just want to see the Lions have a high seed in the playoffs. They're already hosting a playoff game, but I want to see them go far. Now to kick it off on Sunday, we got the Titans at Texans. Their second bout in 3 weeks. The Texans pulled off a magical win in Nashville 2 weeks ago with no starters on the offense. I couldn't believe it. I put money on the Titans. I really thought that the Texans had no chance of winning this game. And
I understand Stroud is playing, and so is Nico Collins. And I'm taking the Texans.
Is the doctor back too, Dalton Schultz? I think he was actually back last week.
I'm taking the Texans to win this game.
Yeah. How could you not? The Titans are falling apart.
Yeah.
They blew that game last week against the Seahawks. They really should have won that game.
They're 5-10.
Yeah, that's gross. Yeah, they need
Which
to
I
just
expected from them. I didn't think they were going to be very good coming into the season.
No.
So I'm taking the Texans.
They got a lot to figure out.
Yeah.
This coming off season. I will take the Texans as well. I think okay, another thing with offensive rookie of the year this year. Stroud was the favorite for pretty much the entire season. Now he's gotten hurt, hasn't played the last couple weeks after he's been doing really well. I thought he was going to run away with it. But now we got this kid, this rookie wide receiver, plays for the Rams, you might know him. Puka Nacua.
Pukanakua.
Who has a chance to break the single-season rookie receiving record with Stafford.
I think that these rookies this year are really good.
Yeah.
Stroud, Dell,
JSN.
JSN,
You know, he's all right. Zay Flowers.
Zay Flowers,
Jordan
Pukanakua,
Addison.
Jordan Addison, and Jahmyr Gibbs.
Laporta. Dalton Kincaid. There's a lot of good rookies.
Kincaid,
He had his time when Dawson Knox was out.
I really do think that these rookies, it's going to be tight. It's going to be a tight race.
I think it's just between Stroud and Puka.
You think so?
I think if Puka breaks the record, I think he gets it.
I do agree with you. And again, it's the same thing with the MVP conversation. Always goes to the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like offensive rookie of the year.
Went to Garrett Wilson last year. Your
Wilson's
boy,
a beast. And
there
was no quarterback to even compete with him.
No.
It was
and then Justin Jefferson. People, argue that he should have got it with his rookie year, but Justin Herbert had a late surge.
Exactly. See, how did Herbert over Jefferson?
But it's so much easier for a quarterback. Like if Stroud comes out these next 2 weeks and throws for like 400 each game and 3 touchdowns, he's gonna win it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if Puka breaks the record.
Maybe I think it matters a little bit.
It'll be close, but I think Stroud would just have the edge just as he's a quarterback, and especially if the Texans make the playoffs. After it's so close right now in the South, because the Jags just keep losing, then the Colts and the Texans can both win it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I would love to see Puka win it, but I'm just saying, I think Stroud has the edge.
Puka,
maybe
I think Puka should get it.
Okay. Falcons at Bears. Oh, boy.
Let me take those Bears.
Bears are home, -3.5. Over-under is 38.
Justin Fields has a lot to prove.
This is a straight up.
He's his status as a starting quarterback in the league has been in question, given the potential for the Bears to have that number 1 pick from the Panthers, and the speculation that the Bears should take Khalid Wilson. I think that Fields, he's on a tear.
Yes.
Trying to prove himself. So I think I'm going to take the Bears.
Yes. I agree with everything you just said. The Bears defense has been balling out the last couple weeks. The Justin Fields DJ Moore connection has been on full display.
Mm-hmm.
Now that Justin Fields is back healthy, you're fully seeing what can be in Chicago. And with the picks that they have coming up, I've been saying that they should re-sign Justin Fields and take Marvin Harrison with that number 1 and trade away their second pick for more picks.
That's a good idea.
That's what I think they should do. Healthy Justin Fields on a contract with Marvin Harrison and DJ Moore. And Cole Kmet's on contract. Maybe you trade for a running back. I think that's a very nice offense.
You said use that first pick for Marvin Harrison?
First pick for Marvin Harrison and trade that second pick.
Okay, now let me ask you something. What if they traded the first pick and used the second pick for Marvin Harrison? Do you think...
Well, because it would be the Panthers' pick, and we're in last. So that first pick is going to be theirs. They keep winning, though, so their pick keeps moving. You know what I'm saying? Like the Cardinals and the Patriots are at 2 and 3. They're going to finish at 4 or 5 or 6, way away, not even close to Marvin Harrison or Caleb Williams, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
But I don't think that the Cardinals take a quarterback, No,
I don't think so.
But
they traded away Kyler.
But the Patriots definitely are, I think. I think the Patriots are definitely taking quarterback. Whether that's Caleb, Drake May, or whoever. But we can discuss that further. I'm also taking the Bears. They are home. I think the Falcons got a nice statement win over the Colts last week just to kind of keep themselves afloat. Mm-hmm. But they're out of it completely. The Bucs are going to win this division, and it's going to be a wrap. So I like the Bears at home. On to the next game. Dolphins at Ravens.
See, this is the most interesting game to me.
This is a very this is for all the marbles.
Because last week I picked the 49ers because I didn't think the Ravens had it. I can't. It's just so amazing to me that every week they're able to do what they do.
Yep.
The same goes for this game. The Dolphins' defense isn't that good.
It's not that good.
I don't think it's as good as compared to the offense. Like
I
the
don't-
Dolphins are all offense to me. That's
I think they're better than what people are giving them credit for. Like Bradley Chubb and Jalen Ramsey are doing their thing.
no, I think
Xavier Howard.
I think they're an average NFL defense.
Okay.
But I think that's what I think. I think that the offense is the center.
It's so of course, yeah, of
so
course.
good. It's all offense for them.
Mm-hmm.
Defense just goes out there and keeps it.
At bay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't give
They
up.
do enough.
Don't give up as many touchdowns as the
Yes,
offense
exactly.
scores. Which is the opposite for. Well, no, it's the same thing for the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
The Ravens got a great offense, but they also got a really good defense.
Yes.
Does the Dolphin offense do enough to beat the Ravens? That's really what it comes down to. And I say no. The Ravens win this game.
Ravens win this game flat out.
Yeah.
Okay. It's they're -3 at home. Over under is 47. It's in Baltimore, so that's really what's swaying me to pick the Ravens because the teams that have gone into Baltimore this year have not come out alive. Especially NFC teams. This is an AFC team.
Literally
it's a little different.
dead. They died.
Literally dead. Yes. Man. I like the Ravens, but if the Dolphins offense comes out swinging and Tyreek Hill just has a legacy performance, I don't see the Ravens offense keeping up whatsoever in this game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with Miami.
There you go. I like it. Because I almost went either way. I could go either way on it, but I think from what I've seen, especially what really sticks with me this season was the Dolphins game against the Bills. After coming off a 70-point game and then getting crushed by the Bills, who like the Bills, their record makes them look average.
Yeah.
But the Bills crushed the Dolphins when they played them in Miami, I think. Right? So that's how I looked at it.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, listen, it's going to be a great game. The Dolphins have had to play the Cowboys. They beat the Cowboys at home. Then they got to travel to Baltimore and beat the Ravens, and then they got to play for the division title with Buffalo at home, Week 18. So I really don't know which way to go here. I know that they're probably looking ahead to try to win the division already at Week 18 because they have already clinched the playoffs as of now. But we'll see. Saints at Buccaneers. Now the Buccaneers are the clear favorites right now to win the South. They have a positive record. They're doing better than what people have thought. They are at home, -2.5. Over-under is 42. And I'm just going to flat out take the Bucs here.
I am as well because this is one game I actually already looked at and thought about because I had Baker Mayfield on my championship game roster going into this week, and I looked at this game, and I want the Bucs to win the division.
Yes.
I want Baker Mayfield to have a good game so I get fantasy points, but I think the Buccaneers win the division on this game.
Yeah.
Like they got to beat the Saints, and they win the division.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then that's pretty much it.
I'm gonna take the Bucs.
I'm gonna take the Bucs as well. I think that the Bucs offense is clicking right now. The defense is doing really well. They just beat down Jacksonville when they really did put a beat down on them last week. I didn't see that coming at all. But yeah, once they win this game, they pretty much lock up the South after that.
I think so.
They play Carolina after that, and that's a mess in general. Patriots at Bills.
I think it's pretty obvious what happens here.
Obviously, I'm taking the Patriots here.
I think the Bills, because the Patriots beat them already, right?
They beat them already, but come on,
The
that was
Patriots beat
such
the Bills. So the Bills, Josh Allen wants to do some things I can't say
it's gonna be bad
on camera. That's what he wants to do to the Bills. I mean, he wants to do to the Patriots.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad.
It's gonna be probably massacre. If I'm gonna take any kind of blowout this week, right? Any game that's gonna be like really like disgustingly ugly and bad, it's gonna be the 49ers game. It's gonna be the Bills game.
So who do you think blows out their team more? Do you think the Bills blow out the pay? Here we go.
Good question.
Thomas, you got this shit right here, kid?
Okay.
Yeah, you like this? This is for the TikTok, baby.
Which game is
Let me tee it up for you. Ready?
Go ahead.
Okay. Which team? Okay, so we got the two games here. Which team do you think blows out their opponent more this week? The Bills against the Pats or the Niners against the Washington Commanders?
This is really interesting because you got the Niners. Niners coming off that loss, they're still trying to hold out hope and win games for the 1 seed. They are going to be playing the Commanders, who absolutely suck.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be a disgusting game. But the Bills and the Patriots. The Patriots have been eliminated. They're not playing for anything. The Bills, this is very personal. The Patriots already beat them this season. And this is the same division, you know?
Mm-hmm.
The Bills are going to take this game very, very personal. And I think that the Bills, it's hard to say if the Bills are playing for more than the 49ers are. Because the 49ers already clinched.
The Bills are definitely playing for more.
Yeah.
They're playing for the division. They're still playing for a top 2 seed.
Yeah, so I think the Bills are really playing for more. And this game is so personal that I think that Josh Allen really tries to put it out there. Josh Allen and the Bills beat the Patriots worse than the 49ers beat the Commanders.
Wow.
Lock it in.
Wow. Josh Allen beats down the Pets.
Worse
than the MVP candidate Christian McCaffrey beats down on the Commanders.
And let me tell you, it's both going to be ugly games.
Yes.
I'm thinking 40-plus points each. Like, the Bills and the 49ers will score over 40 points each. So take the overs.
Yeah.
I just think that the Bills might be more points.
Yeah.
Like
And Bills are at home. Niners are on the road, if that has to, put into your decision at all. All right, so you like the Bills? Yeah, a little bit.
Bills, I'm taking the Bills to win. I'm taking the Bills to massacre the Patriots.
You heard it here first. Josh Allen for MVP.
That's not what I said.
You said it, what? All right, let's keep this train moving. Yeah, Bills, obviously. All right. Cardinals at Eagles.
John, this pick might surprise you.
Oh, boy. Don't do me like that.
But I'm taking the Eagles.
Okay. But are you taking the Cardinals to cover?
What's the line?
Oh, my, plus 11?
No.
Really?
Not even at 11. I wouldn't take the Cardinals.
Why?
I think Philly, after the 49ers lost last week, I think they're really playing to take that 1 seed.
You think they've had their little come back to Jesus moment with beating the Giants, even though they did not play well?
No. It was a bad second half for them.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're like kind of trying to put it together and try to. I think what you just said. I think it's even more of a reason why the Eagles would want that 1
Hold
seed.
on. Right back into it with the Cardinals at Eagles.
Eagles.
Yeah. I like the Eagles, but I'm still going to take the Cardinals to cover, even though you said no.
I'm not.
I think Kyler, James Conner, and Trey McBride will do enough against that poor Eagles secondary
I don't think so.
to cover. That line is too big.
Eagles are going to want that 1 seed. They have to keep winning to do it, and they got to win badly.
I think that game ends like 30-10. 30-20. 30-20.
Okay.
And they cover.
35-17.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like it. Panthers at Jags.
The problem with this pick is we don't really know the status of T-Law.
This could be a freaking trap game really late in the season. And this could be like Jaguars lose 5 straight, and then the Texans or the Colts just take over the South.
That's true. And the other thing is to consider, and the thing everybody should consider the whole season, but it just hasn't worked in their favor, is that the Panthers haven't been playing for anything.
No.
Like, the worse that they are, the better the pick for another team is. Like, how bad is that? Like, you would think, like, oh, we're playing really bad. We get the number 1 overall pick. No. If you get the number 1 overall pick, that's going to the Bears. All right, so they're doing everything they can to win games.
Trying.
So,
Bryce Young had his first 300-yard passing game last week.
if Trevor Lawrence
What a legend.
is healthy enough to play, I think the Jags win.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't play, then
I think everything's on the table.
Panthers win.
Yeah. That will all depend.
You know, as of right now, I'm going to take... What are you taking? You go first.
I want to take the Panthers in a trap game.
You take the Panthers? I'm taking the
They
Jags.
just had a phenomenal outing
the
against the
Jags.
Packers last week.
Mhm.
Honestly, I didn't think Bryce Young was going to throw for 300 at all this season. And then they should have won that game. I'm not going to lie. They really should have won that game. They played enough great offense to win that game. But we'll leave that in the past. I think they just bounce back right into the Jags and beat them on the road.
I'm going to take the Jags, then.
I think there's also a trap game because exactly what you were saying. They're not playing for anything.
I know.
Let them just go out there and just ruin the Jags' playoff chances.
That's exactly what it would be.
Yep. Ruin it and let the Texans or the Colts take over. Raiders at Colts. This is a tough one.
I'm hearing rumor that Pittman might not play,
Yes.
and the Raiders are on a tear.
The Raiders
Ever since
defense,
that
man.
new head coach took over.
Yeah, Alec Pierce has got
Pierce.
the
They got him rolling. I picked up the Raiders defense for my fantasy team to try to win a championship. I'm going to take the Raiders. Because this is like the first time I think that there's a defense that might actually like stop the Colts. Because the Colts offense is really good.
yeah, when it's fully healthy, but if Pittman doesn't play,
If Pittman doesn't play, it's tough, and I'm going to have to take the Raiders here.
like legitimately the Raiders are playing at such a high volume defense right now. Like if Pittman doesn't play, I don't see the Colts moving the ball that well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not to say that the Colts defense isn't doing well either, because they've been taking the ball away very well this year. They lead the league in takeaways,
Mm-hmm.
like 2 years in a row. But I just don't see how Minshew Mania could pull it off without Pittman.
I agree.
I like the Raiders, and the way that they just balled out against the Chiefs too at Arrowhead. I like the Raiders here.
Mm-hmm.
Rams at Giants.
This is an easy one for me, John.
Yeah, this is very simple. Don't think too much into it.
Raiders.
Yeah, this is a Rams masterclass. If you have Stafford, Cooper Kupp, Kyron, Puka in fantasy,
Rams,
start them
all the way.
across the board.
Rams all the
All
way.
of them. This is going to be a masterclass. I will even predict that the top fantasy scorer of the week will be in this game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley.
Good one.
Thank
Good
you,
one.
thank you.
I think it's either going to be one of the three, that three-headed monster.
I also have
and
Kyron on that
Puka, or
championship
Cooper
team.
Kupp.
That team playing in the championship, I have Kyron in the roster, and I'm looking to get him. He's looking to get me the championship.
I have Christian McCaffrey and Kyron on the same roster, so this is gonna be bad. I feel bad for Kyle. Sorry, Kyle. Niners at Commanders. Oh boy.
Again, easy pick for me. 49ers. 49ers, they got to win this game, and they're going to win it bad.
Yeah, this is not even a question. The Commanders should not even show up for the game. Honestly, it's going to be bad.
Cold it in and forfeit.
This is how Penn dies on the thing. That'll be all right. Let's see. Steelers at Seahawks. Now,
That's a good
this
one.
one's an interesting one
Very.
because there are some wild card implications here. Steelers have been looking really bad, but they did play really well against the Bengals last week. Seahawks coming off a game-winning drive against the Titans, putting themselves now back in playoff positioning. They are currently the 7th seed at the moment.
This is a big coaching matchup.
Yes.
Tomlin versus Carroll.
Versus Carroll. It's in Seattle.
Two very good coaches, two mediocre teams.
But I just, I'm going to go with the Seahawks on this one. It's going to be the Seahawks for me, beating the Steelers.
Yeah, I think that
And if any Steelers fans out there has a problem with it, I don't care.
Yeah.
Not my problem.
Not my problem. I think that Pete Carroll coaches his team into a win. The Steelers have been frauds all year. I'm not taking Mason Rudolph beating the Bengals as any sign of life here. I think that the Seahawks come out and they play a good enough game to get this win, and they find themselves in the playoffs.
I think Mason's going to Rudolph.
Yes. Rudolph is actually a system reindeer, like Brock Purdy.
Only works well on foggy nights.
Yeah. Can't do it without the fog. Bengals at Chiefs. Now,
Imagine.
I got a little bit of
Imagine what we would have had.
spicy one. I know. Burrow.
Had to have been Burrow.
Burrow going to Burrowhead to his own stadium.
Burrowhead.
Yeah.
But if your take is spicy, then I have a feeling I know what you're gonna take.
Well,
but
hold on.
the Chiefs, man, they really got to get it together.
I just got to know real quick if a certain player's playing.
He's not.
He's not playing.
I'm kidding. I don't know.
Oh, God. Oh, boy. I just got to know if a certain player's playing, because if he's playing,
What's his name?
this guy, you might know him. Goes by the name of Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase.
Wide receiver 1.
Jamar Chase is questionable. Was a limited participant to his return to practice Thursday. Looks to be trending in the right direction. That's all I need to know. Give me the Bengals. Give me a Jake Browning masterclass
I'm taking the Chiefs.
to take down the Chiefs. 3 straight losses.
Impossible. Not gonna happen.
3 straight Arrowhead losses.
Whoa.
Give me Browning head.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Hashtag it.
Hashtag it. Put it up. That's it. This is the fall of the Chiefs dynasty as we know it. It's over. This year at least. Spicy take. Chargers at Broncos.
The Broncos news that came out about them not starting Russ and they got to bench him for the season so they could cut him. That's incredible.
There is some wild shit
stuff
going on with the Broncos right now.
Yeah.
With the quarterback situation and then the money situation, how they're gonna cut him, and they're paying him $40 million guaranteed, but then they're saving $37 million by not playing him and cutting him. It's a weird structure. They have to imagine you getting pulled in. You're doing pretty well on the season. Your team is doing okay, not as of late, but imagine being told that you have to restructure your contract, go out there. Well, actually, your bench. You have to restructure your contract, sit on the bench for the last couple games of the season, and then get cut after the season.
Mm-hmm. I think there's some discourse in the Broncos locker room.
Mm-hmm.
And as badly as the Chargers are right now, and without half their team, they're out of the playoffs. I still think that they win this game.
The Chargers?
The Chargers win this game because the Broncos they got it all over the place right now.
Well,
this is not a good season for the Broncos.
I'm looking at it as if, because like the Broncos and the Raiders both can still win the West, which is insane
That's
to
the
me.
thing. If you really cared about winning the West, then you wouldn't bench Russell Wilson and save some money. I don't think they care that much, and I think it's an opportunity for the Chargers to come in and win this game.
And just eliminate them completely, pretty much. Because
I
they're
think
7-8, they'd be 7-9 after that.
It would. Chargers are already out.
Mm-hmm.
They beat the Broncos. They take them
And
out
if
of the playoffs.
Keenan Allen plays-
Division rivals.
I think if Keenan Allen plays, I actually do like the Chargers here.
Yeah.
So I'm actually ride that with you. I'm gonna take the Chargers. Packers at Vikings, Sunday Night Football.
After finding out about the Vikings starting quarterback change,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with the Packers.
You gotta go with the Packers.
The Vikings, it just.
Nah, leave it. Don't do it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm taking the Packers over the Vikings because that's weird.
Because that's weird.
It's weird.
I'm still going to go with the Vikings at home. Their defense has been really, really good the last back half of the season, pretty much since Kirk Cousins has been hurt, they've been a top 5 defense, legitimately. Them and the Raiders. They've been playing lights out. And I unfortunately, with the Hawkinson injury, that's not great for the offense. But, listen, you have Jettis out there. You have Jordan Addison. I think you just have to make it work. You have to just figure it out. Kevin O'Connell's a great offensive-minded coach. And the defense is balling as long as
Chandler's playing well, too.
Ty Chandler is playing well. I think as long as the defense keeps the Packers at bay, I like the Vikings to keep it close and win.
Okay. I like your take on that. I just I can't trust a guy, a 4th-string quarterback coming in and doing something.
I agree, but listen, when you have Justin Jefferson, you kind of just throw it to him and just hope that he's down there, and that's it. And that's all the games for the weekend.
Okay.
That was it. We end with Packers Vikings, and then we move on to Week 18 after that. Would you look at that? The Jets-Brown game has just started. All right. And now,
you ready for story
after we
time,
have
John?
all that picks, we are now going to segue into another segment. Tyler is going to give us his story.
I'm very excited about this. This is the only reason I'm here. John made me do this all this other stuff.
John made me
sign
do
up
this,
for it.
all this other stuff.
Okay. Are you ready? Are you
Okay.
ready to hear an interesting story?
I am so ready. Now, turn that shit off. I'm interested
John,
in this. We'll watch
Thomas
that later.
back there, production crew.
Yeah, you better sit.
I'm going to tell you the
Get
story.
ready to listen to this.
I'm going to tell you the story of the 2004 Utah Utes football team.
I already love where this is going. This is
I'm so
phenomenal.
excited about this.
Utah.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay. The 2004 Utah Utes football team has changed the course of history
Okay.
because they went undefeated with a 12-0 record.
Okay.
And they won the Fiesta Bowl that year.
Okay. 2004.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
The reason why this team is significant is because of who their quarterback was. A Mr. Alex Smith.
Okay.
Okay.
I do remember this. Yes. Alex Smith was their quarterback.
Alex Smith was the quarterback for the 2004 Utah Utes
Okay.
that went 12-0, undefeated, and won the Fiesta Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in Heisman voting, Alex Smith actually finished 4th. But I think, and this has been semi-confirmed,
Mm-hmm.
that undefeated season at Utah pushed him to be the number 1 overall pick in the 2005 draft.
I believe it. It makes sense. I could see that.
Alex Smith was drafted number 1 overall by the 49ers in the 2005 NFL draft.
Yeah.
He played for the 49ers from 2005 to 2012. He was pretty successful
Mm-hmm.
as a 49ers quarterback.
Yes.
But
The plot thickens.
in the 2012 season,
Mm-hmm.
as quarterback, Alex Smith gets hurt. Week 9, concussion.
Mm-hmm.
You guys remember who replaced him in that season?
It wasn't Kaepernick just yet.
It was Kaepernick.
That was Kaepernick in 2009?
Oh, in week 9, 2012.
Oh, 2012. Oh, that does make sense then. Okay, Colin Kaepernick.
So, Smith was a good enough quarterback from 2005 to 2012.
Mm-hmm.
But then he gets a concussion and is replaced by one Colin Kaepernick.
Colin Kaepernick, okay. Very controversial player.
Colin Kaepernick led the team to the Super Bowl in 2012.
Yes, he did.
And they lost.
Mm-hmm.
So the season that he takes over from Alex Smith,
Mm-hmm.
he takes him to the Super Bowl.
Does take him to a
And they
Super Bowl.
lose.
Yes. After the lights go out, they make a comeback, but unfortunately fall short.
Exactly.
Yep.
So Colin Kaepernick
Mhm.
then takes over that starting job as a 49ers quarterback.
Yep.
He has some success as a 49ers quarterback, but he doesn't make it back to the Super Bowl.
Mm-mm.
At the end of 2015, he's hurt. He's out for the rest of the season. He ends up having 3 surgeries and he loses his starting job going into the 2016 season because of it. He's recovering. And that was the season that he started kneeling for the national anthem. Now, there was a lot of controversy that season.
That was a big headline in the news. That was everywhere.
He was an injured player.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he was on a decline as far as how good he was as a player. But then he gets hurt, loses his job. Now he's actually on the bench kneeling for the national anthem.
Yes.
Caused a lot of controversy across the league.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things going on that season. At the end of the 2016 season, he parts ways with the 49ers. And he never plays again.
Mm-mm.
And now he is an activist.
Yes.
He is an activist. So, branch number 1 of this butterfly effect of the 2004 Utah Utes undefeated football team is the reason why Alex Smith became the number 1 overall pick in the 2005 draft.
Mm-hmm. And stopped Aaron Rodgers from being that pick.
Eventually, he loses his job to Colin Kaepernick, who leads his team to the Super Bowl and loses, and becomes a controversial. And Colin Kaepernick becomes a controversial figure.
Yes.
So now, let me just. The reason why I think this is so interesting is because if that team didn't go undefeated and make Alex Smith worthy of the number 1 overall pick, does he go to another team? And does Colin Kaepernick not take over from him in 2012? And Colin Kaepernick isn't the person he becomes?
Mm-hmm.
This is the kind of stuff that I started thinking about
after
finding out that it was because of this undefeated season at Utah that Alex Smith becomes the number 1 overall pick. So maybe Kaepernick doesn't become who he is because Alex Smith didn't go undefeated in 2004.
Interesting branch so far.
Let me continue with Alex Smith's career.
Please, indulge me.
After Colin Kaepernick takes over on the 49ers, Alex Smith is then traded to the Chiefs
to the Kansas City Chiefs.
2013.
Mm-hmm.
He plays for the Chiefs for a few seasons and has more success with Andy Reid.
Yes.
But again, not enough to win a Super Bowl or even go to one.
Oh.
Because Alex Smith was aging and wasn't having the success that they thought they could have with Tyreek Hill and
Travis Kelce.
And Travis Kelce also.
Yep.
Who do the Chiefs draft to replace Alex Smith? Mr. Patrick Mahomes.
Mr. Mahomeboy.
Now, to our viewers and our listeners, I don't have to tell you who Patrick Mahomes is.
No, yeah, you know who he is.
The guy's already won 2 Super Bowls. And how many MVPs are we at now?
2.
Is it 2?
Yeah.
2 MVPs.
2 MVPs.
With the Chiefs.
And a Super Bowl, two Super Bowl MVPs. Yeah. Wow.
Patrick Mahomes was drafted 9th overall in the 2017 draft because Andy Reid and the Chiefs saw that he could take over for Alex Smith, which is exactly what he did.
Yep.
Patrick Mahomes got that starting job like after his first year, like his second year in the league. He got the starting job from Alex Smith. So, again, I don't have to tell you who Patrick Mahomes is. He's currently one of the best players in the league. Alex Smith goes undefeated in 2004 at Utah, gets drafted number 1 overall, goes to the 49ers, loses his job to Colin Kaepernick, goes to the Chiefs, makes way for Patrick Mahomes. Does Patrick Mahomes get drafted to the Chiefs if Alex Smith isn't there? Is there another route to Patrick Mahomes' career?
Yeah.
If things didn't work out the way they did, does he go to another team? What's the situation? Because they draft him with the number 9 pick.
What
if they were better? What if they were better? What if they were worse?
Yeah. If Alex Smith wasn't on the Chiefs, they lose maybe a few more games. They get a higher draft pick in maybe 15, 16. then they don't even bother trading up for Mahomes. They had already drafted a quarterback at
Exactly.
that point. Yeah. And then Mahomes is on another team somewhere.
Mahomes
maybe-
In a later round.
Or maybe he doesn't even get drafted at all and picks a different sport.
No, he'll get you.
No. I think he goes to the NFL.
Yeah, he'll go to the NFL. But he'll just go later in the draft.
The 2004 Utah Utes undefeated season and Fiesta Bowl win leads to Patrick Mahomes going to the Chiefs and winning 2 Super Bowls.
All right, so far I'm with you. I'm hearing you. Is that branch 2 so far? Or are you still on branch 2?
That's Mahomes.
That's Mahomes, okay.
So we got the Alex Smith branch.
Yep.
That becomes the Kaepernick
Kaepernick
branch
with the
and
Niners
Mahomes
still.
branch.
And then we move on to the Chiefs.
After Mahomes takes over in Kansas City, where does Alex Smith go?
The Washington
Redskins. And what happens to Alex Smith when he plays for the Washington Redskins? He has the most catastrophic leg injury anybody's ever seen.
Yeah. You could argue, definitely worse than Theismann.
It was the most catastrophic leg injury anybody's ever seen.
Yeah.
Because he was playing for the Redskins.
Playing for the Redskins. Yep. It was actually probably the same as Theismann. Remember when that whole thing came out? It was like to the date, to the time, to the play, to the
Very
yard
exact.
line. Dude, the stars were aligning that day.
So,
Continue.
that happened in November 2018.
Yes.
Alex Smith has multiple surgeries, complications, all these things. Eventually, he's able to come back and play in Week 5 of the 2020 season.
Yeah. I remember that very vividly.
He wins Comeback Player of the Year.
As he should.
As he should, coming off a leg injury like that.
Damn near robotic leg came back with.
And after that 2020 season, they release him in the beginning of 2021, and he retires.
Yes.
That is Alex Smith's career. 2004, Utah, undefeated season. Fiesta Bowl win, makes him the number 1 overall pick in the draft. Plays for the 49ers, gets replaced by Colin Kaepernick. Then goes to the Chiefs, gets replaced by Patrick Mahomes. Then goes to the Redskins, breaks his leg, and now he's a broadcaster.
Now he's a broadcaster.
His career path is directly because of that undefeated season at Utah. If it had worked out any other way, maybe if he lost just one game, maybe he doesn't get drafted number 1 overall and have that exact career path.
Yeah. Yeah, so we don't get the controversial Colin Kaepernick.
Rodgers probably wouldn't be on the Packers.
That
Whoa,
goes
whoa.
into...
I haven't gotten there yet.
That goes to jumping through the story. Doesn't affect other sports leagues, such as basketball. With LeBron. I know he was a big help with that. Kaepernick. And we don't get Mahomes in the 2 Super Bowls, and Travis Kelce being arguably the GOAT tight end compared with Gronk and all them, and Tyreek Hill.
No.
Yeah.
We have no idea what would have happened if that 2004 Utah team didn't go undefeated.
Yeah.
So I'm going to jump into the other branch,
Okay.
which you guys already know about, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Go ahead.
In 2005 NFL draft, Alex Smith was the number 1 overall pick. He was the first player off the board, first quarterback off the board. God bless.
Bless you.
God bless.
Bless. Yes.
The second quarterback drafted in the 2005 NFL draft wasn't drafted until the 24th pick in the draft. His name was Aaron Rodgers. Now, Aaron Rodgers was projected to be that number 1 overall pick.
There wasn't another quarterback drafted between them?
I double-checked that, I know.
I was just about to. I was really
I already
surprising.
double-checked that because I thought the same thing.
That is surprising. Okay.
He was projected. He played for Cal. He was really good. He was from California. And everybody thought, that he was going to be that number 1 overall pick. And because of that 2004 undefeated season at Utah, Alex Smith was selected number 1 overall by the 49ers.
Yeah.
And what did that mean for Rodgers? He ended up getting drafted as the number 2 quarterback off the board, number 24 overall to Green Bay.
Green Bay. Even that in itself is just crazy.
Exactly.
If Aaron Rodgers went to the Niners.
In his time at Green Bay, after being drafted, he sat behind Favre for for 3 seasons.
Yes.
05, 06, 07. Then he gets the starting job. But in that time, Favre hated Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
He hated the idea that his replacement was sitting on that bench behind him.
Yep.
He didn't want anything to do with him. He didn't want to talk to him. He didn't want to help him. He didn't want to help him develop nothing. Favre hated Rodgers. And this is a proven fact. Everybody knows about this. Favre retires in 2008.
Yep.
Rodgers takes over at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have the Favre timeline.
Yep.
Where Favre then goes to the Jets for a season. Then he ends up going to the Vikings for 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And then he eventually retires.
Yep.
So Favre, he leaves the Packers, goes to the Jets, then the Vikings,
Mm-hmm.
and Rodgers takes over at quarterback.
I should have a quick question.
Go ahead.
Before you continue. When Favre retired the first time from his quote-unquote retirement from the Packers, and then Rodgers took over, I mean, when he tried to come back, did he try to go back to the Packers and take that starting job from Rodgers before he went to the Jets?
It wasn't at that at first. It was the Jets, and then he tried to come back to the Packers
Afterwards, before
But
the
then,
Vikings.
because there was so much animosity there, he actually went to the division rival Vikings. He was like, I
Okay.
want to do damage to the Packers, so I'm going there.
Okay.
So
Got you.
That's that part.
Perfect. Continue.
Brett Favre's done.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers became the starting quarterback for the Green Bay Packers from 2008 to 2022. That's 14 seasons as a starting quarterback for the Packers.
Damn.
He wins a Super Bowl in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
He wins 4 MVPs in this time
Jesus
with
Christ.
the Packers. And then, as we know, most recently, in 2013, he was traded to the Jets and tore his Achilles 4 plays into the 2023 season.
It's getting spicy.
Aaron Rodgers still plays in this league.
Yep. At the age of
Alex
40
Smith does
years
not.
old. Alex Smith is not.
The 2004 Utah football team. Alex Smith goes undefeated at Utah, gets drafted number 1 overall ahead of Rodgers, who everyone thought it was going to be Rodgers.
Yep.
But it wasn't Rodgers, it was Alex Smith. So then Rodgers is second best, goes to the Packers, has the years with Favre where he hates him, and then starts for 14 seasons, wins a Super Bowl and 4 MVPs. What would have happened
That is
if the Utah Utes don't go undefeated
mhm.
and Alex Smith doesn't get picked number 1 overall?
And Aaron Rodgers goes to the 49ers.
Aaron Rodgers goes to the 49ers, and what happens?
Is Terrell Owens still receiver?
Who knows?
At that time?
Yes, he was.
They
Yes.
probably won a Super Bowl.
Who knows
had a great
what would
team.
have happened? But
Frank Gore and Vernon Davis,
Yeah, they would have won a Super Bowl.
Patrick Willis.
the thought about it is incredible to think about.
Yeah. That is it really is insane to think about. Because I think if Aaron Rodgers goes to the 49ers.
Who actually won the Heisman that year? Because you said Alex came.
Oh, you know what? You're right. I should have looked into that. I don't remember.
Was
But-
that Reggie Bush's year or was that 05?
04? I don't know. You look that up.
I got you.
I'm also not done with the story.
Yeah, I was waiting for the caveat. I was waiting for the more.
There's still more
piece.
to it, but
Hold
I just
on.
want to pause real quick. Just focus on the Alex Smith part of it. Because as the starting quarterback for the undefeated Utah Utes 2014 that win the Fiesta Bowl.
Matt Leinart.
Oh, Matt
Yep.
Leinart, yeah. That was
Yep, that makes sense.
that, yeah, 100%. Again,
Who's that?
Oh, right. 2005 was Bush, but they took, right, that whole scandal happened. Yes,
Matt
that
Leinart
makes
was
sense.
an amazing college quarterback.
Yes,
for
he was great.
USC.
And now he's doing broadcasting right now with Alex
he kind of
Smith.
was like a bust. Like he wasn't
Yeah.
good.
Him and Vince Young and Jake Locker were great in college, and now they're all just not great.
But
anymore.
what I
Busting it,
realized was how the fact that because Utah goes undefeated,
Mm-hmm.
Alex Smith projects Alex Smith into the number 1 overall pick, it changed the trajectory of Alex Smith's career,
Mm-hmm.
who affected Kaepernick, Mahomes, and
Rodgers.
countless others. And at the draft, because now Aaron Rodgers is number 2, it completely changes his career as well.
Yep.
It's truly incredible that this one season affected all these different quarterbacks, all these different teams, and who knows what would have happened if they don't go undefeated and he doesn't get picked number 1 overall.
If they just picked Rodgers.
If they had picked Rodgers, I just think that because they went undefeated and won the Fiesta Bowl, the 49ers looked at that, looked at that, and was like, okay, he is really good.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to take him.
Some more.
If there wasn't so much in Alex Smith's favor and they had just taken Rodgers, we don't know what the NFL would look like today. We have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I want to just look at that schedule real quick. I want to see what kind of games they were going up against here. Blowout, 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 blowout. Oh my God.
So he was just cooking in college.
Oh yeah, there was
I looked
just
at the
not
rest
even.
of the team just to see if it was anybody interesting. They really, as players go, like it really wasn't
It was just
anybody
him.
special.
No.
No, nobody really special on that team.
Anybody you knew?
Yeah, there were some names that I knew, but
Yeah, they were blowing out teams left and right.
before you continue looking, I don't want you to spoil the
No,
end of
yes.
the story,
I'll stop.
Because I'm going to tell you
I want you to tell me
what
now.
I think is probably the most interesting part of this story.
Okay.
The 2004 Utah Utes football team that went undefeated, 12-0, and won the Fiesta Bowl was quarterbacked by Alex Smith. But the head coach was Urban Meyer.
Yes, he was. Oh my God, I forgot about that. Yeah, he was.
This to me was actually the most interesting part about this.
Oh my God, this is another whole like separate thing too.
Wait, Urban Meyer's the NFL coach now, right?
No.
He's a broadcaster now.
Okay, yeah.
Urban Meyer
College football coach.
went
legend.
undefeated in the 04 season. So he actually was the head coach of Bowling Green for 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Then he goes to Utah for 2 seasons. And again, with Alex Smith the quarterback, he goes undefeated, 12-0, wins a Fiesta Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Because of that undefeated season,
Yep.
he got the head coaching offers for Notre Dame and Florida.
Yes.
From Utah to Notre Dame or Florida. He chooses Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Does this have to do with Tim Tebow?
This is going to be. I know, like this. Yeah, I can see where this is going. Like immediately, this is great.
Because of his success at Utah, he became the new head coach of Florida. And he coached his first season in Florida in 2005. In 2006, they won the national championship with Tim Tebow.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Tebow wins the Heisman under Urban Meyer.
Mm-hmm.
They won the championship in 2008.
Yep. 2008. Yep. There was a Netflix documentary on that team.
Oh yeah. Then there was some personal issues, some controversies, things going on with Urban Meyer where he ends up leaving.
Mm-hmm.
He retires technically in 2010 after winning 2 national championships with Florida.
Mm-hmm.
In 2012, he's offered the head coaching position at Ohio State,
Mm-hmm.
where he won the national championship in 2014.
Yep.
And then again, some more controversy. He retires from coaching in December of 2018. A couple years later, who comes a calling? The NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And the Jacksonville Jaguars offer him the head coaching job in January 2021. He coached that 2021 season for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He went 2-11.
Mm.
And he was fired December 2021.
Yep.
He didn't last a year.
Poor Trevor Lawrence.
Because the 2004 Utah Utes went undefeated 12-0 and won the Fiesta Bowl with Urban Meyer as the head coach. Urban Meyer then got the offer to go coach at Florida, where he won 2 national championships.
Mm-hmm.
And because of his success at Florida, he got offered the coaching job where he won another national championship at Ohio State. And then he leaves Ohio State and goes to the NFL for a season, and it's not good. He's a bad NFL coach.
Yeah, terrible. Not good.
So this one college football team, and this isn't like they didn't win a national championship.
Mm-hmm. They won the Fiesta Bowl.
They won the Fiesta Bowl.
Woohoo!
A fiesta. Ay, ay, ay.
Ay, ay, ay. In Utah.
The Utah Utes won the They didn't win the national championship. They won the Fiesta Bowl after going 12-0. And because of that, their quarterback became the number 1 draft pick in the NFL draft, and their head coach went on to coach Florida and Ohio State and win 3 national championships.
Wow.
To
and
me,
him going to Florida, man, too. That you had Tim Tebow.
Who was the quarterback when he was at Ohio State that he created in a way?
well, and not necessarily created, but actually I did look at that real quick. There was one season, I think it was the national championship or one of them. They started the season with I think Braxton Miller, I think maybe, and then he got hurt, so it was in GT Barrett, and then he got hurt, so it was Cardell Jones. Ohio State, they've produced a lot of really, really good quarterbacks that didn't pan out in the NFL.
Yep.
CJ Stroud, everybody's saying because of his rookie season, he's going to be the best Ohio State quarterback that had success in the NFL. But that is the end of my story, and there might be more things that if you started to look into more branches, because as a head coach, Urban Meyer, he affected a lot of people's lives, a lot of players' lives, so that's pretty significant. But one football team, the Utah Utes, nobody seemingly special.
No.
Produced Alex Smith and Urban Meyer and projected them into where they are now. And that is how one football team in 2004 changed the landscape of the NFL and college football that we've known it for the past 20 years.
Wow.
That was great.
That was great.
Thank you.
That was great.
Let's turn over to...
That was great. So...
Yeah, questions, please.
So, listen, with the Alex Smith side, Aaron Rodgers goes to the Niners. I think he definitely wins the Super Bowl there. I don't think that's a question about it. I think he wins the Super Bowl there. But it is a weird it's cool though because he didn't play for 3 years in Green Bay. I think people forget about that. He didn't play right away. He did get to kind of sit back and watch Favre and get developed a little bit on the sideline, not playing a lot. So I wonder how that would have been if he just got thrown in to the starting job in 2005 instead of getting those 3 years to watch a quarterback like Brett Favre, a Super Bowl winner, as your starter.
It's true.
And then relax over there, buddy. And then going forward, the Mahomes thing, that's always crazy to think about. That draft was nuts. I don't think he definitely wouldn't have been drafted by the Chiefs at that point. Because I think if Rodgers gets taken by the Niners, I don't even think Alex Smith goes to the Packers either. I think he'll go to some other team, and then that really just messes everything up. Because then I think Brett Favre just stays in Green Bay, which is another whole branch. I don't even think he goes to the Jets or the Vikings.
Yeah, who becomes the next quarterback for the Packers?
For the Packers? I don't know. But I think that comes a little down the line. I don't think that quarterback would get drafted until about 2010, 2011 at least. Because I don't think Favre leaves Green Bay. I think they just, I think they keep going. Unless they do draft Alex Smith, I still don't think he leaves Green Bay. I think he stays. I don't even think the Jets or whatever happened with the Vikings happens. But even that's crazy, though, because then that affects, because he went to the NFC Championship game in 2009, right? And the Saints went to the Super Bowl, and that could have been a whole different ball game too. You know, that could have been a whole different lead up to that in that playoff series. The Saints might have not even went to the Super Bowl, had a different team got to there and played the Saints, you know. Could have been a different team playing the Colts in the Super Bowl. We would have never had that Tracy Porter interception in the Super Bowl. Peyton might have had another ring.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he might have had 3 rings instead of 2.
Yeah, because Favre, after he left the Packers, he played three whole seasons after he left.
Yeah. There's a lot of branches to this. And then on the other side with Urban Meyer, you know, he goes to Florida, and everybody knows about the '08 Florida Gators. With that, there's a Netflix series about it. Tim Tebow leading that squad. You had Cam Newton backing him up. You had the Pouncey twins. You had Aaron Hernandez. I mean, what a squad.
Yeah, crazy.
You had a convicted
and
felon.
That was '08, and Urban Meyer got there for the '05 season. He had a hand in recruiting those players.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't go to Florida, does he recruit those players specifically and have that kind of team?
Yeah. Do all those players get to that same team? Do they win a championship? Do all their names get brought up more? Does Cam Newton then go to Auburn after that? You know, does Tim Tebow go right into the NFL? Does, you know, how good do the Pouncey twins end up? You know, does Hernandez maybe take a different path in life? You know, because when he was with the Patriots, you know, him and Gronk were going to be the next best thing, tight ends. And then, you know, obviously, you know, what happens after that with Hernandez. Don't need to go too deep into that. You know, and then, it's a weird scenario. You know, if he doesn't even win, then does Tebow go to the Broncos? And then do they have their magical runs in the playoffs? You know, that game where Demaryius Thomas won that game in overtime against the Steelers. And then they go and get blown out by the Pats in the divisional. Do they even make it there? You know? Do the Steelers end up winning that game? Do they go and play the Patriots? Do they end up beating the Patriots? And then we don't get a Patriots championship after that? Because what was that? That was what, 2009 or 10? Was it 2010, the year that the Pats made the... No, that was the Steelers. No, because the Steelers lost the first round. 2010, didn't the Steelers make the Super Bowl that year with the Packers? 2010 Packers.
Yeah,
Steelers?
the Packers played the Steelers in the 2012.
No,
2010. Packers played Steelers in the 2010 Super Bowl. Yeah.
So maybe this is 2011 then.
Yeah.
Was that 2011? Was that 09?
I think it might have been. I forgot.
When did that happen? When Denver and Steelers, when Demaryius Thomas won that game in overtime?
Dude, I want to say like 2011.
I feel like it was 09 or 11.
I think it was 11 because then didn't Peyton Manning get there in
Because the Pats got there.
Or 13? No, then 13. Peyton Manning got there in 13, so I think it was 11. I think it was 11 that Tim Tebow and the Broncos beat the Steelers in the playoffs.
Yeah, and then the Pats blew them out, and then the Pats made it to the bowl that year against the Giants.
2011, yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. You know, like, what if the Broncos never even made it there? Steelers end up, you know, maybe they don't even make it there. Some another team. They go beat the Patriots.
There's
a lot of what ifs here.
A lot of what ifs in this story, and there's definitely other like what ifs.
Another what if I could think of off the top of my head is the 2004 draft. If Eli and Phillip Rivers never traded teams.
Yeah.
I think if Eli played in San Diego, Phillip Rivers stays in New York, I think that is a whole nother can of worms you could open up down the line. That's another whole story that I would actually really like to hear the latter of that, you know, the timelines.
We never get the catch in the Super Bowl.
We would never get, dude, that would be, that would change a lot. Dude. Yeah, the 2 Super Bowls with Brady. I don't think those happened against the Giants. You know, Brady might have 9 rings, 10 rings.
Yeah.
Because there's not another Manning to really stop that, you know.
Well, you know, it's really interesting. Could you bring that up? I'd have to look this up to remember exactly when and where, but Rivers got drafted by the Giants, and Manning got drafted by the Chargers in these flip teams, right? I like to think about the fact that Drew Brees played on the Chargers for a time.
He did.
And then they were like they were like, yeah, whatever. And he ends up on the Saints, wins the Super Bowl, becomes one of the best quarterbacks of all time.
He was there for, what, 4 seasons? He drafted in 01, got traded in 05.
Because they got Rivers.
Phillip Rivers takes over, and Drew Brees goes to the Saints. So that's what I'm saying. What if it's flip-flop, you know, and then...
What happens then?
Maybe Eli doesn't pan out. Maybe they keep Drew Brees. Maybe they just send Eli packing.
Mm-hmm. That's why this story specifically, when I heard, you know what I think it was? I heard the story of the Florida Gators with Urban Meyer, and I remember them saying like that he came from Utah in like 2004. He had a good season at Utah, so he goes to the Gators.
All right.
Yes,
so,
this one in particular, it's the fact that because of just who the quarterback and the head coach were for that team, and how it projected their careers after that.
Yes.
Like how Alex Smith being number 1 overall in that draft, and then Urban Meyer going to Florida, how those two things affected so much of football after that because of that one team going undefeated. That's the reason why I thought this was super interesting.
It is. Because no one, you don't hear really anybody talk about the Utah Utes.
No.
And
I had to look at it. All I even knew was that he played at Utah.
I didn't even know the Utah Utes was a team. I know because you actually had mentioned like the first part of this story years ago, and that's how I remembered the Utah Utes, because I've not paid attention to the Utah Utes at all.
I actually, when I was like, you know, finalizing the research for the story, I was like, what the hell is Utah's name?
Yeah, what are the
Utah Utes? Like,
Dude.
I had to look that up because all I knew is that Alex Smith, this happened at Utah. Utah. I was like, the Utah what?
The Utah Utes.
The Utes.
What is a Ute?
No, I don't know.
Is that like a...
Utah Utes?
Utah... The Utes, is that like a tribe? Is it like
I don't know, dude.
They got land out there?
Yeah.
Strange.
But
anyway,
you know, the butterfly effects are really interesting. But for this one I found that it had far-reaching implications.
Yeah, this one definitely spread a lot. This one was deep. This affected a lot of franchises into what they are today.
Exactly.
With the Packers, Super Bowl and 4 MVPs. Rodgers, definitely Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
Mahomes, already a Hall of Famer with 2 Super Bowls, 2 MVPs, 2 Super Bowl MVPs with the Chiefs. And Alex Smith is a broadcaster. And it will be remembered for that leg injury.
Yeah.
You also think about it in a way that Colin Kaepernick was going through all those injuries.
And then the Colin Kaepernick thing.
Seahawks winning the division so many times, they led to those Super Bowls.
I feel like that was an even bigger branch with Colin Kaepernick, with the whole controversy thing, because that really started like BLM.
Yeah,
100%.
And that was one thing where it was like,
and then the NBA got involved.
Because Kaepernick took over for Smith, because Smith was the 49ers quarterback for many years, and then after Colin Kaepernick, his play declined, right? He wasn't good anymore, and then he becomes a controversial figure, and how far-reaching that became. Where does Colin Kaepernick, if he doesn't take over for Alex Smith, then what does his career look like?
Yeah.
And does he become this controversial figure that we know today in 2016?
Yeah. Yeah, because they probably don't go to the Super Bowl then when they play the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of deep branches. That was a very interesting story,
Alex Smith, because he got hurt with a concussion.
Mm-hmm.
If Alex Smith didn't get hurt, were they going to the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows? That was a very interesting story.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Appreciate you taking the time for that, doing the research.
You're welcome.
That was a really good story.
I was very excited about that.
I've
been waiting to tell this story to the masses for a while.
Yeah.
Because of how much I enjoyed thinking about it.
That was great.
Yeah.
That was really good.
I think, everyone should go and check out the intricacies of this story.
Mm-hmm.
Alex Smith's career. Urban Meyer's career.
Yeah.
Go look at all those teams that both of those people affected.
Mm-hmm.
And there's definitely more to it. There's definitely more to the story.
Yeah.
And there's more branches that people can add to it if they want.
Exactly.
It's a very cool story. But that pretty much wraps up today's pod. I had a great time.
So did
you
I.
enjoy being on it?
Yeah, this was really nice.
Thank you for being on it. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
You were awesome. You were awesome. The discussions were great. Football is happening. The Browns are currently kicking the shit out of the Jets, unfortunately.
But I'm projecting a comeback.
Jets just punted. Predicting a comeback. What do you say?
The Jets punted to the
Browns like to the inch yard like that.
So there's an opportunity for a safety?
Safety callback earlier in the pod. Oh shit! Safety maybe.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
We're really breaking like the ninth wall here.
Yeah, this is awesome.
With the video game, we talked about it early in the pod. Now we're already in the back of the pod watching the game as it's happening. Safety, maybe.
I feel like you guys
record. It's only the first quarter, right? So the first quarter. What? Cool. Anyway, that wraps up the pod. I appreciate everybody watching, staying tuned. I appreciate everybody who's been supporting the podcast so far. Thank you, everybody, to check for watching the TikToks that we've been posting. They've been doing really well. They've been blowing up like crazy, so go follow the TikToks. Right here at Say It With Your Chest, go follow the talks. They get posted daily. We are now on Spotify, you sons of bitches, for all you audio listeners out there that don't want to watch video, even though you can watch video on Spotify. I don't want to hear it. Go on Spotify, Say It With Your Chest. All the pods are up there right now. You can go check out this new one once it's uploaded soon. Instagram, little different than the Say It With Your Chest because some asshole out there has the handle. So it's actually the SIWYC pod. Go check it out. Content will be also posted there daily, along with TikTok. Handles here, if you want to go follow the personal, appreciate it. Go check out the boy. And then for my wonderful older cousin who came out to give this wonderful story and help me with the pod today, go shout him out. Tyler Nationalis on Instagram.
Follow the Instagram.
Go follow the Insta.
Whoa, that's crazy.
All right, thank you for everybody for tuning in. And they call it a touch bag? Losers. Whatever. All right, that's it.
We out.
We out. Deuces. Catch y'all next week.